Theories of punishment. No society can tolerate antisocial acts. Antisocial acts are subversive of the economic, social and moral laws of society. Those who act against these laws are punished in various ways by the society or the state. Every punishment inflicts upon the criminal physical or mental pain. Normally, we do not justify the infliction of pain on an individual. A question may naturally arise as to why we make an exception to this rule in the case of administering punishment to the wrongdoer. This question has given rise to different theories as to the aim of punishment, of which three are important. These theories of punishment may be discussed briefly as follows. Preventive or deterrent theory. According to the advocates of the preventive theory, the primary end of punishment is to prevent the recurrence of crime. The damage done to the society by the criminal is irreparable, but other men may be tempted to indulge in antisocial acts if no example of what happens in the criminal when he does wrong to the society is placed before them. A criminal ought to be punished in order to prevent others from committing similar crimes. It should be an exemplary punishment. Thus, severe punishment for slight offence may be necessary. The main theme of this theory has best been expressed through the maxim, "You are not punished for stealing sheep, but in order that sheep may not be stolen." According to the preventive theory, the criminal is punished as a means to an end, which is the prevention of crimes. But man should always be treated as an end and never as a means. It has been found that even capital punishment could not prevent the recurrence of similar crimes. Punishment should be such as the criminal may have the understanding that his actions are detrimental to the society, that he may be conscious of the moral ideal. Though prevention of crimes is one of the duties of society, yet it should not be unnecessarily harsh to the criminal, where a softer punishment may fruitful. Reformative or educative theory. According to the advocates of the reformative theory, the aim of punishment is to reform the criminal himself. The offender was, prior to the commission of offence, a member of the society. It should be the duty of the society to rehabilitate the offender. The offender should be punished for his own good. Punishment aims at reforming the offender of his antisocial tendencies so that he may regain his position in society. Punishment should educate the offender in the consciousness of the moral ideal and moral duties. It should never be tinged with retribution. The reformative theory has been supported by the psychologist and also by sociologists. Psychoanalysts maintain that crimes are manifestations of repressed desires of a person. A criminal therefore should not be punished, he should rather be treated with care by psychologists and psychoanalysts. According to the advocates of criminal anthropology, crime is a pathological phenomenon. It is due either to hereditary or acquired physiological defect of personality. Criminals should therefore be sent to the health homes, psychological clinics or reformatories rather than to prison houses. Advocates of criminal sociology maintain that crimes are due to social and economic inequalities. A criminal commits crime when he is oppressed by economic hardship. A criminal therefore should not be punished. The socio-economic stratification should be removed and it will be seen that crimes have also disappeared. Reformation of the criminal is desirable from the standpoint of social welfare, but the determination of all the factors of an individual's personality and devising the proper treatment for his welfare is more often extremely difficult than not. It is only when the offender is made to see that the punishment of his crime is the natural outcome of his act, that he is likely to be repentant and to reform his conduct. Reformation is not likely to be effected by punishment unless it is recognized that the punishment is the vindication of the moral law. The one important aspect of this theory is its emphasis on the role of a man as an end and not as a means. Moreover, it may be said that the communist states, which claim to have established a classless society where there are no social inequalities, have not yet been able to eradicate crimes from their societies. Retributive theory. According to the advocates of the retributive theory, the offender against society must be punished. The offender has done a wrong against society. The wrong which he has done to others and to society should recoil upon him. It is through punishment that he should be made conscious of the wrong he has done. Punishment is the compliment paid to the criminal. The offender has done a wrong against society. A wrong against society is a wrong against humanity. It offends the majesty of the law. The wrong, therefore, should be punished in order that the offended majesty of the law is appeased. If the offended majesty of the law is not appeased by punishing the criminal, it will have a very harmful effect on the social harmony and unity. Justice demands that the wrongdoer should be punished. The criminal has earned punishment by violating the moral law. The members of society feel a great moral indignation if the guilty remains unpunished. Punishment, therefore, is an act of justice. Aristotle, Kant, Hegel, Bradley and others support this view of punishment. Punishment aims not so much at reforming the offender or at prevention of crimes as at upholding the glory and majesty of moral law. But as to the nature of punishment, the advocates of the retributive theory are divided in their opinion. According to one group of retributivists, punishment should be of the nature of tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth and nail for a nail. Severe crimes should have severe punishments. Nature of punishment is to be determined by the nature of the offence. This is known as rigoristic retributive theory. According to another group of retributivists, the punishing authority should take into consideration the motives and intentions of a wrongdoer while punishing the latter. Punishment should not be inflicted mechanically. All possible factors which are responsible for the perpetration of a crime by an individual must be taken into consideration before punishing him. We should not only consider the nature of the crime, but also the mental disposition of the offender, as also the circumstances under which the crime was committed while inflicting punishment on him. Otherwise, punishment will be a mere oppression. Our view of punishment should be justice tempered with mercy. This is known as modified retributive theory. The modern civilization does not appear to favor the view that punishment should be purely retributive. The rigoristic retributive theory is therefore unacceptable. Man is a finite individual with many limitations. Any offence committed by the offender should be considered sympathetically before administering any punishment to him. The modified form of retributive theory appears to be satisfactory if by retribution we mean vindication of the moral law. This theory admits that the aim of punishment is partly deterrent, partly utilitarian and partly reformative. Mackenzie rightly says that neither reformation nor prevention is likely to be effected by punishment unless it is recognized that the punishment is the vindication of the law. The end of punishment is partly protective or preventive and partly reformative, but punishment has at the same time a retributive character. Under the more enlightened conditions of modern society, the ends of punishment is the protection of society, the prevention of crimes and the reformation of the criminals. The whole object of punishment is to improve the condition of society.